Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how I create my cash envelopes using a free design space called Canva. So the first thing you need to do is go to canva.com. Now we are just scrolling down to select worksheet right there. Once we are in our design, now we need to scroll down and go to elements. We're going to go to shapes and select the square that has no fill. So you should just be able to see right through it into like that navy blue background. Okay, so what I like to do is make sure that the border is really tiny. I don't really like thick borders on my envelopes. Now my envelopes are 7 inches by 3 inches. So I'm just making sure that that is the right, that's the correct size. Now I like to change my borders to black. Just making sure that they're really small. And resizing to 7 by 3. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go back to elements and scroll down to grids and just select on that first square grid right there. Next, we're going to go to photos so that I can search for the sunflower that I used on my other cash envelopes. So once you find the picture that you want to use, for me, it's that sunflower right there. You go ahead and you add it to the grid. So the next thing that you want to do is crop the photo the way that you want. And once we have the picture just the way that we want, now we can go ahead and add the text. So I went over to the T for text, selected add a heading. I always like to label mine on the actual picture. You can always just put in like a text box and then print it out, laminate it, and write your labels on there with the Sharpie. I just like to have mine already labeled. So we go over to the font. You can choose whatever font you want. Again, the ones with the golden crown, those are only a part of the paid subscriptions, but I'm always able to find a font that I like on the free version. I ended up just going ahead and typing in calligraphy because I really like those fonts. So I just went in and I tried out a couple different ones until I found one that I liked. I ended up choosing the playlist script. So I always duplicate my pages just so that I know that all of my cash envelopes are going to be the exact same size. So that's what I went ahead and did. And all I need to do now is just change the label. Once I have the envelopes set up just the way that I want them to, I go ahead and I click the 3 dots right next to print letterheads and I save them to my computer and I print them out. So I didn't actually show that in the video, which I'm so sorry. I guess I ended the I guess I ended the screen recording too soon, but that's just how I print them out. So I wanted to come in and let y'all know that's how you save them. And you always save them as a PDF file to your computer. And I don't have, well, I do have a printer, but it's not working. So I just send it over to Office Depot or Office Max or something like that. And I get them printed out. Alrighty, so now that we have our cash envelopes designed and printed out, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I put them together. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start off with this one first. So let me go ahead and start cutting. I'm just gonna cut all of that excess off. So first, I hope you can see this too. There's that black line. We're gonna be cutting like right before that. Make sure that it's straight, because I've noticed with these things, you have to kind of line it up with the string on the inside. So let's see. Ooh. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean that up with scissors. And on to the next part. And you see this, I swear, this is the most bootleg. I am taking this back right after I get done with this. I just need to invest in a really good paper cutter. If y'all know of a good brand for a paper cutter, please let me know, because I am definitely looking for one. Okay, and the end result should be just like this, and it should be 7 by 3 inches. So we'll go to 3 inches here. Okay, and then I'll line it up over here. And yeah, it's right at the, can y'all see that? That's 7. Okay, let me just clean this up real quick. Okay, perfect. So I do have a an already cut out laminating sheet just from when I cut this one. So let me line it up and see if it is right. And we are going to be putting the shiny side. I don't know if you can see that this is like really shiny. This is going to be going on the inside, so it's actually going to be touching the paper. So let me line it up and we'll see. Yeah, okay, perfect. It matches, yay. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these out. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up the edges. So now we have all of the envelopes cut out. Okay, so now it's time to cut the lamination. What I'm going to do, okay, so I can cut off the 3. Okay, so inches is there. And then another. And so yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. Now that we have all these, so since it's oh no, I don't need this. I need this one. Okay, so since this only goes right here to 5 inches, so I'm gonna line, just take one up, just choose spending. I shall put it through the back so I can see through it. I'm just gonna cut off that excess right here. And just a disclaimer, guys, this is my first time making the envelopes with the clear backing, so please bear with me if they do not come out perfect. Just keep that in mind. Oh. That looks good to me. And I see there's one with like with the round. I was trying to avoid those, but it's okay. Okay, now that we have everything cut, so I'm gonna set this to the side, get my laminator going. I use the Scotch laminator. I also use these Scotch thermal laminating pouches. So I like to have mine on for the 5mm. Okay. And now it's just warming up, it's getting ready. And then when it is ready, the blue light will come on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these lined up. The shiny side is going to go, it's going to be touching that paper. Okay. All of them lined up, I'm gonna go ahead and put them inside of the laminating pouches. And once you have everything lined up, go ahead and just smooth over the top layer of the laminating pouch. Carefully insert it into the laminator and just let it do its work. Okay, so once we have all of our envelopes laminated, we're gonna go ahead and cut them out. First thing I like to do is cut off all of the excess lamination. Next thing I like to do is go ahead and just separate the envelopes by cutting off the tops. So you see that little bubble right there, that's what we want to pop, just for the top of the envelope. So once we have the top of the envelope successfully cut off, the next thing that I need to do is just trim the sides. Again, we do not want to pop the bubble for anything except for the top. So I'm gonna get as close as I can to the bubble, but just not popping it. So since this has 3, I had to be very careful of popping that bubble because we want to pop it for the one that's labeled food, but not the one that's labeled gas. So I erred on the side of caution and I just cut as close as I could to the food envelope. And I was successful. I did not pop the bubbles on my other 2 envelopes. I still had a little bit of lamination on the top of this envelope, so I had to just go in and just cut it just a little bit, just being careful that I didn't cut the actual paper. So what I'm doing now is just going in to trim the bottom, because I only need a 1/2 inch on the bottom so that I can create my hole punches. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish cutting the rest of my envelopes, and then I will be hole punching them. So now that I have all of my envelopes cut out, to the correct size. I just went ahead and I lined them all up, making sure that they were straight. So the next thing I need to do is just go ahead and take my 6-hole punch. This is a 6-hole punch from 52 Agenda. I got it from Hobby Lobby. Now you need to set it for personal. So just make sure that everything is lined up. Now this is technically A6, but there's something the way that like A6 binders are made that you have to set your 6-hole punch to personal. It took me a long time to realize this. I had to Google it because I kept hole punching them on A6 and it would just not work. So just make sure that everything is lined up to personal. I was going to try to do them all at once just because technically it can hold up to like 8 sheets, but I wasn't able to get them all the way in there, I guess because the way that the lamination was like kind of poking out on some of the envelopes. So I just ended up doing them one by one, which was a lot better. Okay, and there you have it. This is the finished product. They are all hole punched. They are all laminated. I am so happy with the way that they turned out. This is my first time trying to make cash envelopes with the clear backing, and I cannot wait to make more. So I just put some money in it just so you could see that it is clear. And I will be giving these envelopes away for my giveaway. If you want some more information, just read my comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and please tune in next week.